Good morning, student. Welcome to the biology class. This video is the continuation videos of our genetic topics. In the previous video, already we have seen what is mean by genes, what is mean by allele, dominant, recessive, okay, sex-linked inheritance. Got it, student? And in this video, we are going to study about that the Mendel's experiment on inheritance. Okay, let us start today's video. See, student, in the previous video, I told about that the Gregor Johannes Mendel is called as the father of genetics. Why did he call the father of genetics, student? Because the Mendels discovered some basic principles of genetics in 19th century. I told you in my previous video, the Mendels was an Australian monk, and when he in his monastery there have a pea plant, so he conducted the many breeding experiment of the garden pea plant and conclude the theory of genetics. So he is called as the father of genetics. Let us see, student, in the paper may be asked the question why the Mendels choose the pea plant. Because the pea plant is available in all season, and in the pea plant have a very short lifespan. So in the Mendel's lifespan, he can take the many types of the breeding varieties of the pea plant. So he chose the pea plant. It is called the botanical name Pisum sativum, and it is present mean the pea plant have a 7 alternative characters. 7 contrasting characters are present. So he can conducted the many breeding experiment in the pea plant. So he chose the pea plant Pisum sativum. In the last video, I explained about that, student, what is the dominant and what is the recessive. Dominant means the characters which can express. These characters is called as the dominant. In the last video, I explained about that what is meant by characters, and each and every characters have a 2 alleles. One is the dominant and other is a recessive. If in that character have a dominant allele, the dominant allele is always express itself. In the pea plant, there are so many contrasting characters, like that the color of the flower. The pea plant have a purple color flower, white color flower, the position of the flower. Some flowers are axial and some are terminal in position. Different color, seed color is a character, and there have a 2 alleles of this character. One is the yellow seed and another is the green seed. Then shape of the seed, some seeds are round, some seeds are wrinkled, means these characters are dominant and these characters are recessive. And in the previous video I explained about that dominant character always express if it is present in the combination of the 2 genes. Got it? Pod shape also, pod color also, and the height of the plant. Mendels took the varieties of pea plant and showing so many experiment, and after this conclude of this experiment, he proved that the theory of genetics. And this theory is means in this theory we get the basic knowledge, basic idea about the new combination of the hybrid varieties, and such information is a great importance for both plant and animal breed for producing the better breed. So this experiment was first time proved by the Mendel. So Mendel is called as the father of genetics. What happened, student? Mendel was the mathematician, so he had performing some experiment and he concluding the theory. he crossing over the characters, he crossing the two types of the process. First is the monohybrid cross and second dihybrid cross. In this video we will going to details about that the monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Mono means what, student? Mono means one and di means two, and hybrid means characters. Means Mendels proved the theory of genetics by performing some crosses, monohybrid and dihybrids, and whenever he crossing over the monohybrid characters, dihybrid, many contrasting character, what is the result? The result is the same. So he give the ratio of genotypes and phenotypes. Let us see first details what is the monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. First of all, I will explain what is the monohybrid cross. Monohybrid, I told you, mono means one and hybrid means characters. Means the cross between the two parents different in the single pair of contrasting character is called as the monohybrid cross. Means see, one is the male and female plant, and the one same characters is a one same characters from two different parents and contrasting to each other, it's called as the monohybrid cross. समझ में आ गया बेटा? Monohybrid cross means what? The crossing over between the one contrasting characters, it's called as the monohybrid cross. And dihybrid cross means the cross between two parents differing from the two contrasting character is known as the dihybrid cross. Let us see the example. Monohybrid cross means one character. Mono means one. Hybrid means character. Means the one character is contrasting to each other. Means see, the Mendels took the one tall pea plant and one is the dwarf pea plant, and whenever he crossing over, means he mixing their gametes and new result. This is called as the monohybrid. Monohybrid means what? The contrasting only one single character. This is called as the monohybrid. And dihybrid means what? The crossing between two contrasting characters like this, the color of the seed and shape of the seed. Means there have a two character. One is the color and another is the shape. And whenever two contrasting characters are crossing between the two different plant, this is called as the dihybrid cross. So let us see student details. First is the monohybrid cross. Monohybrid मैंने आपको बताया बेटा, mono means one, hybrid means cross. Whenever the Mendels crossing the one contrasting character, first he took the character is the height. What is the character? Character is the height. Tall and dwarf. I told you tall is the dominant. Tall is the dominant and dwarf is the recessive. Dominant, I told you student, dominant always write in the capital letter and recessive always written in the small letter. Got it? Means first upon in the monohybrid cross, the Mendels was crossing over the one contrasting character. Let us see the height. Height is the character and their each and every characters have a two alleles. I told you one is the tall and means height is a character and height character have a two allele. One is a tall and another is a dwarf. Whenever the Mendels first took the pure plant, means first homologous characters. Homologous means the same pair of the characters. Means he took the tall plant and dwarf plant. When he was crossing over the tall and pure tall plant and pure dwarf plant, what is the result? In the F1 generation, all have a all offspring capital T, small t. Capital means C student. Capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. Means in the, what is the result of F1 generation? All are a capital T and small t. Means whenever he crossing over, one is the tall plant and one is the dwarf plant, what is the result in F1 generation? All plants are tall. Why the all plants are tall and similar? Because I told you student, whenever the dominant character is present, it is always express itself. Is each and every offspring have a capital T. Capital T. Capital T is a dominant. So all are a tall. Got it? And means whenever he performing the crossing, he saw all the plants are similar, all are tall. Then in the F2 generation, the Mendels took the two crossing over, means capital T, small t, capital T, small t. And what happens, student? When he observed that the result is capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Got it? This is the result of F2 generation, means C. First upon, the Mendels are crossing over the first pure generation, means tall, pure tall and pure dwarf. What is the result? What is the result in F1 generation, student? In F1 generation, all are tall plant. All are tall. Means the phenotype ratio is a 4. Because in the phenotype and genotype, I told you, phenotype means the physically appearance, means observable characters. Observable characters is called as the phenotype ratio. And what is the F2 generation? In the F2 generation, when the two capital T, small t, capital T, small t, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t. Means what is? First offspring is a capital T, two offspring capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Means out of 4 offspring, 3 are tall. 3 are tall and 1 is only dwarf. Means what is the phenotype ratio, student? 3:1. Why phenotype 3:1? Because in the all the 3 are tall. Means phenotype, I told you, phenotype means what, student? The characters which we can observe it. Means phenotype means what? Observable character. The characters which can observe by naked eyes. This is called as a phenotypes. And genotypes means the genetically the characters are present in the gene. It's called as the genotypes. Understood, student? Phenotype is the 3:1 and genotype is a 1 is the dominant. It is called as the C. Capital T, capital T. It is called as the homologous dominant. Capital T, small t is called as the heterologous. Hetero means two different characters, two different alleles are together. And small t, it is called as the homologous recessive. Got it? And what is the genotype ratio? Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Means 1, 1, 1. Means these two. See, this is a 2 and this is a 1. Means what is the genotype ratio? Genotype ratio is 1:2:1. Got it? This is the genes, means the alleles which is present in the gene. Got it, student? What is the monohybrid cross? The monohybrid cross is crossing over the one contrasting character. And what happened in the F1 generation? In the F1 generation, all plants are tall. And when it is the self crossing, that times in the F2 generation, the phenotype ratio is 3:1 because phenotype means observable characters. 3 are tall and 1 is a dwarf. And genotype ratio 1:2:1. Means the genetically the 2 are homologous dominant and capital T, small t it is the heterologous dominant, means it contains the dominant character also, it contains the recessive character also. Understood, student? In the Mendels has given the three laws for this experiment. The law of dominant and law of segregation is depend on the monohybrid cross. Means in the law of dominance, what is the law of dominance? Means the one character is a dominant, it always express and it suppress the recessive character. This is called as the law of dominant. I will repeat it again, student. Out of the pair of contrasting character, means see, we have seen capital T, small t. Out of the pair of contrasting character, present only one able to express, means only dominant is able to express itself and other remains suppressed. So this law is called as the dominant. Understood? And second law, the law of segregation. Law of segregation means what, student? Whenever these alleles are separate to each other, when they are separate to each other and they forming the another gamete, means देखो स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे हमने देखा कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी, सी कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी, capital T small t, whenever they are two different alleles are formation together and whenever they are separate into the different gamete and the gametes combine together by random fission and time of zygote. means बेटा जब हम क्रॉसिंग XX करते हैं and XY करते हैं तो whenever they are together but when they are separate from each other they are प्योर, मीन्स दे आर नॉट मिक्सिंग, उनके कैरेक्टर्स में कुछ भी डिफरेंस नहीं होता, जो भी अलील्स हैं दे आर अगेन इज द इंडिपेंडेंट, दे आर अगेन इन द प्योर. Understood monohybrid cross? Let us see the dihybrid cross. I told you dihybrid cross means what, student? The crossing over between the two contrasting pair of characters. Means see, in the last monohybrid cross we have seen the one character is a height and the height have a two allele, one is a tall and rough. Dihybrid means what, student? The two contrasting character. Let us see the example of round seed and round means the first upon we see the color of the seed. Color is the one character, it have a two allele, yellow and wrinkle, and shape is the character round and wrinkle. Got it? Means in the dihybrid cross we are crossing over the two contrasting character. One is the color of the seed and another is the shape of the seed. What happen whenever we are took the pure parents, pure varieties of the gametes? Let us see. We can take the male and female. Male is a dominant character, means the seed dominant we have to write like that, capital letter. Round and yellow, and wrinkle always we have to write in the small letter. Got it? Wrinkle and green, not written like that W and G. It also writes same Y and R but in the small letter in the recessive character. What happened whenever the first time in F1 generation, what is the result of F1 generation? All the offspring, all the four offsprings are round and yellow. Why it is contained? Because each and every offspring have a dominant character and we have seen the dominant always express itself. Means what is the ratio of the first generation? In the F1 generation all are round and yellow seed. Got it? Whenever the Mendels were crossing the self-pollinated, means see, whenever he crossing over the self, and what is in the F2 generation? Let us see. We have seen in the F1 generation what we have seen in the F1 generation, all the offsprings means all the seeds are round and yellow. Whenever he took the two F1 generation सीड्स मीन्स वी हैव टेक मीन्स क्या किया बेटा, उसने एक प्लांट के मेल कैरेक्टर ले लिए, राउंड एंड येलो के इसके फीमेल कैरेक्टर्स ले लिए, एंड सेल्फ क्रॉसिंग, it is a self pollinated plant, and when it is pollinated and fertilized, and this plant having all have a round and yellow seed. Whenever he took the same capital R, small r, capital Y, small y, what happened whenever he crossing over between the each, and what is the result of the F2 generation? See student, what is the result? Out of 16, the 9 are round and yellow. Why it is the round and yellow? Because each round and yellow seed have a dominant character, and we have seen the dominant is always express itself. See, first capital R, capital Y, capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. In the whenever you cross it, capital R, capital Y, small r. So it is also R, means whenever the capital R and capital Y are present in these genes, the seeds are round and yellow, because round and yellow is a dominant character. There is also capital Y, capital R. It also contains the capital R, capital Y. So it is also round and yellow. There also have a capital R, capital Y. So it is also round and yellow. In this the capital R, but small y, small y. So the seeds are round, but color is a green. Here is also capital R, capital Y. So round and yellow. It also capital R. So the seeds are round, but in the small y the color is a green. Whenever here contrasting the two different, means whenever he crossing over the two contrasting character, what is the phenotype ratio? Phenotypes means the observable characters. The phenotypes ratio is 9:3:3:1, and genotype ratio is very complicated, and we have to study the genotype ratio in the higher classes. Means the 9 seeds are round and yellow, 3 seeds are round and green, 3 seeds are yellow and wrinkle, and only one are wrinkle and green. This is the dihybrid cross, and this, by crossing over the two contrasting character, the Mendels are give the law of inheritance is the law of independent assortment. Means what happens student, देखो बेटा, मेंडल्स ने क्या किया डायहाइब्रिड क्रॉस में, उसने 2 कैरेक्टर्स ले लिए, बट ईच कैरेक्टर्स means out of the 2 characters are not disturbed to each other. Means the disturbance means whenever he contrasting the 2 pair of character, there is no disturbance of the one alleles of the one character into the gamete independent to the distribution of the allele of the another character. Means see, allele means we have say take a color of the seed, it is the yellow and green. It is not disturb the shape of the seed. Got it? Means the shape of the seed alleles are separate and color of the seed are separate. These 2 alleles are not disturbed to each other. This is called as the law of independent assortment. By crossing over the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, the Mendels are given the principle. This is called as the Mendels law of inheritance. He has given the 3 laws. First is the law of dominance. I told you dominance means 2 different alleles are present, only one is a dominant and will be expressed, and another is a recessive, it will not express. This law is proved by the monohybrid cross. Law of segregation, it is also proved by the crossing over of monohybrid cross. The 2 alleles of each genes are placed in different gamete. Means if whenever we are crossing like that, whenever the next generation, these T and these T is separate, they are not disturbed to each other. Got it? And the law of independent assortment is a one genes does not affect the inheritance of the another genes. I explain you, means the one genes which contain the color of seed, it is not disturbed to the another genes which contain the color shape of the seed. Got it? The Mendels are proved these three law by crossing over the many varieties of the pea plant. Understood, student? The last topic of this lesson is the mutation. Mutation means what, student? Mutation is the sudden change in the genes. It is called as the mutation. Understood? What is meant by mutation? Mutation means the sudden change in the genes, otherwise sudden change in the number of chromosome, the structure of chromosome, it's called as the mutation. Mutation, it is not a variation. Mutation means the sudden change in the gene. For example, the sickle cell anemia, it is the blood disease. It is also caused by the mutation of the genes. It is also caused the DNA resulting the production of the sickle cell RBC. And radioactive radiation, it is also altered the gene structure, and their effect can be seen generation to the generation, means sudden change in their genes by the effect of the radioactive radiation. Understood, student? What is the genetics? In this lesson we have seen what is meant by heredity, what is meant by variation, dominant, recessive character, phenotype ratio means observable, and genotypes means genetically present in the genes. Got it? We have seen the Mendel's law of inheritance. If you have any queries regarding this topic, you will see the previous video regarding to the genetics. Thank you, student.